Welcome back to episode 2 of the cheapest 840 E31 BMW I could find in America. So today we are going to dig into this thing. We are going to figure out just how condemned this engine is. I'm going to go through a couple tests here and see if we can basically identify whether it needs a new engine, which I'm almost positive it does, or if somehow, some way, something weird is going on here and it's a quick, easy fix, which I doubt. Either way, I want to do an M62 or an M60 B44, so kind of hoping that it needs an engine, but we'll see. So the previous owner did a lot of the legwork here. He did a lot of the PCV system testing because those can often fail on these M60s, which will cause a lot of blow-by, and it's not actually because of the engine, it's just because of the breather system. He did basically all of that, so we don't really have to go through that. Basically what we're going to do, and we're going to start here with, is just a plain old compression test, because that should be telling. And in the comments from the last video, which I appreciate, people that have been around these cars more than I have mentioned to me that the compression test is what the dealership used to do on these. Supposedly, or apparently that's the way that you figure out what's wrong. So we're going to dive in, compression test all 8 cylinders, see what our numbers come back like, guessing that they will be low, and then boom, condemned, and then we'll pull this thing out. And I think I'll tear it apart in this video so that we can see firsthand what a Nicosil failure looks like. Supposedly, allegedly, that's what I'm guessing, so we will see. So I'm charging up the battery right now. Let's pull these spark plugs out and get started. Man, it's been a long time since I have worked on an M60. If you guys remember, if you've been following me for a while, I used to have the 540, well, it was actually a 530 E34 with a B40 put into it. And I had to do all the valve covers and all the fun M60 stuff. So I'm relatively familiar with M60 engines, but not an expert by any means. So this will be a lot of learning for me too today, which is fun. Learning is good. Typically you like to lay these out in the right order, but these have all been replaced anyway. Half of these are original, half aren't. So, and then by the time we're done with this thing, it's gonna be a whole new engine, so it doesn't really matter. Make do with what we got. Non-spark plug sockets, so hopefully I can even get it out. Fuel pump, 23, 24. 24 doesn't have a fuel pump. I guess this doesn't have dual pumps. Here's our spark plugs. None of them look too weird. The tip of them is super odd, the electrode. I'd never seen them like that. But otherwise, they all look like they're burning pretty even, so not that that really tells us anything, but now let's get the compression tester out and see what we're facing up. All right, 150. I actually don't know what M60s are supposed to be. I mean, M30s and M20s are all 180. M50s are like 210. So 150 in my mind seems low, but let's go ahead and get some comparisons here, because with compression, it's really uniformity that you look for. If they're all 150, then you say, all right, that's a good engine. But if we have a 150 and a 210, then we have issues. So consistency is what you want. So that is weird. That indicates that there is no one cylinder that is damaged beyond the other ones. Typical of a Nicosil failure, you'll have one cylinder that is just destroyed. Slowly reminiscing on my old V8 days. It's been a long time. Currently trying to catch myself back up to the PCV system on this thing. So I went through the previous owner's messages, and he ran me through what he did. So he said that this car developed really bad smoking, and he did all the basics. He said, the PCV plate in the back, did injectors, and then he said he even tried to route a catch can, which is what these fittings are here, I'm guessing. So, and he said nothing cured it. This car didn't smoke at all when I drove it, but also it's got its PCV hose routed atmosphere, which was dumping oil. So basically there's oil being, kind of thrown around in this engine The separator is in the timing cover here. Then basically the separator has a hose that goes back here to the valve and puts it into the intake to be reconsumed. So theoretically, if this is dumping oil in here, when the engine's running with all this back hooked up, yes, it will start smoking. You have the hose that comes in here, and it funnels it through this valve basically into the intake. So if you got a lot of oil consumption, it's gonna shove in through here into the intake, and then you're gonna smoke. So that's what he said he's thinking is wrong. And you know, whether it be the separator bad, either way, engine out, you know, it makes that way easier. But I mean, we're gonna do a build with it anyway. I don't want to cheap out on this. I think I want to make it actually a cool car. So I will say I am gonna hold off on a 6-speed swap for now. I want to do a 6-speed swap, but the parts are really expensive, really hard to get, and I don't want an E28 scenario where I dump thousands and thousands of dollars into a car that the value's not there. It's a nice car, but it's not perfect, so I don't see really the point in going all above. So I'll do a fun little engine build, but I'm gonna have to hold off on the 6-speed swap for now. I'm gonna crack this off and look at this diaphragm really quick. Yeah, so the diaphragm from the PCV is perfect condition. As he said, he replaced it, so this definitely isn't causing us any issues back there. Let's start prepping this thing to leave. Okay, ICV. Damn, look, we got some Nevada sand in here. We might, mind you, I have 2 4-post lifts to the side of me, but instead I'm doing this on jack stands because I'm keeping it real, just like old days. But at the same time, it's just kind of a hassle to get the cars that are stored up there, moved around, and this up there, and then this will eventually be non-running, and you can't really drop the engine out of the middle of a 4-post. Nothing like some green coolant to the face. Oh, the joys of working on a car for the first time. It's got arrows that tell you what to do. Maybe I should look better. Breather hose that goes through the shroud just like an E36. Brilliant. Oh. All right, new day, welcome back. My least favorite part of an engine removal, the exhaust. So this goes one of 2 ways. Either these aren't seized and they come off nicely and everyone's happy, or this turns into the biggest nightmare of my life. They don't look that bad actually on this side. The other side looked a little sinister. Oh, okay, that's one good, 2 successful. This one was not even tight. Hey, that's better than strip. 2 left. Oh, yes. 4 for 4, baby, please. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And these are the easiest exhaust bolts I've ever had to get down. Now we can go down. So foolishly, had my exhaust, or my camera, right in the danger zone of the exhaust. The exhaust fell and smacked my camera. Somehow, I think I just lost that footage, which is weird. But we did get all the bushings and bolts and mounts done for the exhaust, so you can see it's half hanging down, so I'm gonna pull it out now. I actually think I should just leave it over here. What's the point of pulling it out? It's not really in my way. Okay, so a sudden change in, oh nice, a sudden change in plans. I'm not gonna pull the trans with the engine because I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to manual swap this or not. So at the off chance we leave it as an auto, it's gonna be really annoying pulling that whole assembly. So I think I'm just gonna yank just the engine, leave the trans in place. So it seems like a lot of these bell housing bolts I can get to from here, and I gotta get to the torque converter. In the meantime, Eustace is gonna do my accessories, try to get my AC off, power steering off, and then hopefully we can kind of just, all that's left will be kind of the harness and stuff. No fun watching torque converter stuff, so I'm gonna leave the camera up top. So it needs to turn, where the hell did it go? Help. Okay, so I want to turn it Dude, the way they designed this is insane with this X brace in the way. Oh, yes. Huh?
You got a loop?
I think so. I've never seen this. Literally like a bolt without a head that has a nut on both sides. It might have to disconnect the line because I don't see how it's going to come off this stud because the line butts up to the alternator kind of close. What is it?
What is this?
Oh, I know exactly what that is. It goes over the positive connection in the ECU box.
Okay, it's old car shit.
Just like E34.
Old car shit.
What, you want me to do it?
I don't know. It's either gonna check on me or you.
Gotta do the little jiggle technique. Okay, so where are we? Bell housing is done. Trans is hanging in there, so we did decide to leave the trans in the car. Power steering pump had to come out because of a stupid way they routed the hoses. All that's left is the 2 fuel lines and to get the hood into service mode. So now we're trying to figure that out right now. And then it's time to pull this bad boy. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm losing it.
So you open it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
okay, you go, I'll hold.
we gotta go around.
Hey, hold the hood now so I can come over.
Oh, this is heavy. Why is this hood so heavy? Look at the hinges. Okay.
Can you do it by yourself? Okay. Oh, shit, that ground. Look how tight it
Give me
is.
a 10.
You need a 10. Oh, there you go. So, and it says you're supposed to put an M8 bolt through the oh, I see, there's a thread.
Do you have an M8 bolt hanging around?
What the I don't know what the hell an M8 bolt looks like. Oh, look at that. Okay, so AC bolts work. This feels like something's gonna break. Wow, look at that, service mode. How cool.
That's so crazy these hinges hold this.
Can you give me that 10 mil? Oh, wait, is this a 10? No, it's a 13, right?
Yeah.
Oh, mine's all the way through. I mean,
Mine's all the way through too.
how far do you need to go, you think?
Not far.
Okay, yeah, this feels extremely sketchy. I could see this breaking if you're out in the wind. What's nice about the M60 is it actually has 2 brackets. Why don't all engines do that?
They do, they just hide them under the intake now.
Okay.
Don't drop it.
We're hooked up. Fuel lines. Oh, this one's you already took the clamp off?
Yeah.
Damn, they make it kind of hard to pull it off. There we go.
What if those wheels will look cool on here?
Ooh. Those probably would look good on here. They'd
Like
probably
wood.
fit really good too.
Yeah.
Get some lowering springs on here. Make it cool. Are you doing the honors or?
I'll do some honors. You might want to watch the trans, and it might have to go up more or something.
No, it's pulling away from the trans. I think you just yank it. I think it's just gonna.
But it's in the motor mount hole still, I believe.
Well, I mean, this is a very centered motor, so it should lift straight up. Okay, keep going.
Careful.
Okay, keep going. So the exhaust is grabbing the trans. So how?
We gotta push the trans, unless is it both sides?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if.
You might have to level it and tilt the engine.
Yeah. header is easier to get off than this one. This one, there's like no.
Yeah, we only need to pull one header.
Oh, that's true. Wait, is there a motor mount ground on this engine? Oh yeah, there is. Oh nice, they're not rusty. Stuck on something. Oh wow. These aren't bad. Nice. Oh yeah, we're good.
Now you can go up.
All right. It feels good pulling an engine in the shop, man. Not at home.
Yeah.
Oh.
Way more room.
More room, not worried about, I don't have to have the door open to get it out. Look at you. Well, now all that's left is to not drop it on the on the front bumper.
Well, if it dropped right now, it'd crush the condenser in half.
All right. Hopefully nothing has to leave the shop anytime soon. Because I have a feeling I'm gonna be leaving this bad boy right here. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it on the stand. Look at the oil that is in this intake. Literally.
Oh my God. What the hell is that? Look at that knock sensor.
Oh no.
Maybe that's why it blew up.
It's epoxied together.
Dude, no way. They're both like that. What the hell happened?
So he's had this off and they cracked and he tried to fix it.
Look at this.
I think he tried to JB weld them together, right? All right, well, that's an M60 out. Job well completed. And our heads are off, and I have to say this is kind of annoying because look how good these cylinders look. I mean, they still have cross hatching. So how is it that this engine was puffing smoke? Because the valve stem seals look pretty decent. The cylinders look decent. I mean, I guess that cylinder right there has, you know, a nice scuff in it, but you can't feel it, so that's not, you know, a condemned bottom end. This side, same deal. I mean, the two that we can see look good. This one, again, has some scoring right there, but again, you can't feel it. I mean, these cylinder walls look really nice, so I don't understand what's going on here. All right, so before we conclude, I just want to show you guys here, we have our M62 B44 bottom end completely disassembled, ready to accept the M60's heads and timing chains. We got the timing chains off this. I just got to pull the timing chain stuff off the M60 B40 right here, and it's ready to go on to the M62. I'm waiting on parts right now. In the next episode, it's going to be all about building this engine. From start to finish, just building the M60 B44, showing you guys everything that's necessary, how you got to do things, and it should be a really fun episode, and by the end of that episode, we will be ready to put it in. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I just wanted to say Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I appreciate yet another year of your guys' support of me, my channel, and all the things I do. Without you guys, none of this would be possible, and I really mean that. And it really, really, really warms my heart, and it makes me happy knowing that I can share my passion for these cars with you guys who share the same passion as me. So really appreciate all you guys, and here's to a prosperous new year. See you guys in the next episode.